On today's Daily Detroit for Friday, July 17th, 2020, something a little different. Hey, I'm Jared Stays. So the world feels like it's on fire right now. There's challenges all around us and storm clouds, but also things that we can enjoy, things that are made locally that will help us get us through. And today's episode is a walk off the beaten path of hard news and into the fizzy path of seltzer. That's right, it's Fizz Fight 2020, where we've taken a number of Michigan-made hard seltzers, as well as White Claw, so that we have a baseline, and compared them in a socially distant tasting right here at Daily Detroit's North End headquarters. Special thanks to the team that put this together, Randy Walker, of course, who took lead, Devon O'Reilly, Cheyenne Nocerini, and of course, Fletcher Sharp, who was in the background. You didn't really hear him on the audio, but he was here nonetheless. And the first voice you're going to hear is that of Sven Gustafsson. So sit back, pop open a can of seltzer for Fizz Fight 2020, and enjoy.
All right, Randy Walker, first of all, it's good to see you. We are here in Jared's yard here at Daily Detroit's headquarters in the north end of Detroit, socially distancing. This was all your idea, man, to do a hard seltzer tasting. Talk about, the idea and how you came up with it.
I've been a fan of White Claw since it came out, and even some sparkling beverages before that. Like, I was a huge fan of Zima when it made its debut, but its reappearance a few years ago. So lately I've been seeing a lot of press releases for new Michigan-made hard seltzers hitting the market. So I figured it would be a great idea to find them all and try them all, and we are here for Fizz Fight to rank them all.
Fizz Fight 2020, everybody.
That's right.
Devon O'Reilly here, man about town and amateur seltzer connoisseur, is here to support. We're ready to do this. Taste some flavors I haven't tasted before, some I know well, so let's get to it.
All right. I got one key question because I'm mostly staying out of the taste test, right? I don't like hard seltzer. I'll just come out and establish that baseline. I don't get them. I think it comes down to I don't like vodka. I love club soda. I love sparkling water. I think it's fine mixed with a spirit that has flavor like whiskey, bourbon, but with the flavorless neutral spirit like vodka, I just don't get it. So explain to people that don't get it, like outsiders like me, the appeal of hard seltzer.
They're light and refreshing. There's not a lot of strong alcohol flavor behind them. A lot of these are 5% or lower. They are low in sugar, low in calories, so they're fairly healthy drinks, and they're just fizzy, so they're refreshing.
You got anything to add to that, Devon?
Yeah, I would echo everything Randy said, and also say, you can be both. So I'm a Scotch drinker, a whiskey drinker. I drink bourbon straight. No mixer. I like the taste of it, but sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you want just stuff that tastes like LaCroix, but also can get you drunk if you drink enough of them. They're day drinking stuff. They're boat drinking. They're beach drinking. They're patio drinking, and they're great for summer.
It's like LaCroix when you want to get crunk.
You could drink 5 LaCroix, and you could have a nice buzz going. Doesn't that sound good?
Our tasters for Fizz Fight 2020 are, as you heard, Devon O'Reilly and engineer Randy Walker. We also got Cheyenne Nocerini and Jared Stays, the lovable co-host of Daily Detroit. All right, White Claw.
So Black Cherry White Claw is my go-to White Claw flavor. It's got a decent, strong cherry flavor, moderate fizz level, tastes a little bit of the chemicaliness from the sparkling, maybe a hint of metallicness, but it goes away once you get used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously White Claw is the seltzer I drink the most. I feel like it's going to be a good barometer because, as Randy mentioned, it has a medium to strong taste level. It's got kind of medium carbonation, 5% ABV. It does have a little bit of a metallic taste, but again, this stuff is super drinkable. Black cherry is not my favorite flavor. For that, I'd probably go with grapefruit. I know a lot of people that might be a little controversial, but I'm more of a grapefruit White Claw.
And to be clear, because this is we're tasting Michigan hard seltzers, I'm looking on the package here. White Claw is made in Chicago, Illinois.
So I'm not a hard seltzer drinker, but it is refreshing. It does remind me of sparkling waters. It's okay. It's very metallic-y, but you do get used to it.
Cheyenne, be honest. I saw you you almost retched at your first sip of it.
I did grimace. There was a grimace of ooh, this is harsh.
I drink about anything, and I'm going to go with a mix of flagpole and fruit. It's kind of like the last time I tasted this was like second grade and I licked a flagpole. And this is kind of what it tastes like. And it's if you like slip like a cherry or a raspberry or whatever there, no.
All right, our first hard seltzer after the White Claw is Breakwater, made by Ordok Brewery in Marquette, Michigan. We have 2 flavors here. We have black cherry and we have lemon lime. There are a few other flavors available as well, but we couldn't find them around Detroit. This is a 5% ABV product. It has 110 calories, 2 carbs, both of which are sugar, and it is gluten-free.
So the first thing I noticed about this seltzer was that it had some coloration to it. Most seltzers you find are clear, so that was a little bit interesting to find. Also, the black cherry flavor is very strong, so definitely a strong flavor. For me, almost a little too sweet, but I could definitely drink 1 or 2 of these, just don't know about past that.
The cherry flavor is very natural tasting. In fact, I don't taste much else other than cherry flavor. There's no chemically harshness. It's also very light on the tongue at the same time. Like it's wow cherry, but not wow mouth is full feeling. I really like this.
So my initial thought was there's not really any metallic taste. So that has that going for it. And also it does taste pretty good. I do feel like it tastes stronger, not only in the flavor of the black cherry, but also in the alcohol. I get a little bit more of an alcohol taste with this.
It's got about a 0 on the flagpole scale, so that's good. It kind of gives me like a framboise feel. This is solid. I am not a heavy, like, crushing drinker, so I definitely enjoy this. But yeah, I pick up the sweetness other people do, but I think key for me is that it does not have the flagpole flavor.
I think the sweetness masks that flagpole flavor, so it's kind of a give or take. See, I don't really like the sweetness, but I see what you're saying, is there's also no metallic flavor, so I guess it's a give and take there.
Just so people know, Sven is in the corner judging us, and so is Fletcher.
We judge a seltzer, they judge us, so.
So we're lining these up, folks, on the bench of decision here. Randy's in charge of it. White Claw is in the middle. All right, so first up is the Breakwater. Better or less than White Claw? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Better? Down. Ooh, we have 3 ups better than White Claw. And 1 down. So we're putting it above the White Claw. Devon has been overridden.
I knew it was going to happen. You guys definitely liked it more. And I didn't hate it, but I just...
Well, it's important to note that you didn't hate it.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't hate it. It was very good. Just like I said, I'd have 1 or 2, but I don't want to sound too egregious here, but I don't drink White Claws for 1 or 2. You drink them for 6+.
All right, our next entrant is a tart sweet cherry flavor hard seltzer from Middle Coast Brewing Company. That's in Traverse City. What do you guys think?
This one is interesting. It's 109 calories, 2 carbohydrates, which are both sugar, and this is also 5% ABV. This was super fizzy and also pink, and I don't think it tastes like cherries.
Concur with Randy on his first points. The fizziness, the carbonation was noticeably higher than the others, which I don't like because I also, again, come back to feeling like this is going to get me full a lot faster, more burps going on. I don't know how I feel about this one, and the cherry flavor just isn't there. I don't know what this tastes like, but I'm not getting cherry.
Nope. It's just not. You know what it is? It tastes a lot like beer. It's got more of a beer consistency than a seltzer consistency. It's the carbonation is out of a beer, and that's not what I'm looking for in a seltzer per se.
You have piqued my interest. Barely. Here.
Sven's jumping in for the tag team.
Hey, anything for science.
So we also cracked open the Cranberry Grapefruit. This one is 0 sugars, so 0 carbohydrates, and only 100 calories, but it is also 5% ABV.
The aroma in this plastic cup is kind of brutal, I gotta tell you.
It definitely smells like Cranberry Grapefruit, though.
So let's do our vote here. Is it better or worse than the Breakwater? I think
It is worse.
This is worse.
okay. Now, White Claw. Where does it sit in the pantheon? Does it go below the White Claw?
It is worse.
Yeah, this is worse than last.
Ooh. End of the bench for the Middle Coast. Sorry, guys.
Randy, it must be said that you have gone above and beyond. I mean, like the motivation you showed, putting this project together was truly inspiring. You have not 1, not 2, but 3 different hard seltzer flavors from Odd Side Brewing Company, which is in Grand Haven, right? Over on the west side of the state. I'm familiar with them because they make some pretty good beers. I have to say, I, again, don't like hard seltzers, but tell us about the flavors you got and what are you going with first?
So we got 3 flavors from this. We got pina colada, we have black cherry, and we are currently tasting pink lemonade. This is 110 calories, 0 carbs, so 0 sugar. It is also gluten-free. We're tasting the pink lemonade right now, so let's give it a go.
To be clear, aren't all hard seltzers gluten-free?
I believe one of them is labeled reduced gluten and not gluten-free, so...
So I had a chance now to taste this, and I'm very impressed. First of all, as Randy mentioned, there's 0 sugar, 0 carbs. I mean, that's nice. Is it all things considered, if it's even healthier, quotation marks, what I'm doing, then even better. But this is a pink lemonade flavor, which I would imagine, I was anticipating being very sweet, which I don't like. But this is about the lightest you could do a pink lemonade and keep it, palatable. So I'm very impressed with the offering here from Outside.
I really like this one. I like the pink lemonade. I think it tastes lemony, but not too lemony, not too sweet. No metallic taste, so it's an A+ for me.
This tastes just like pink lemonade with a kick. You get the lemon tartness, you get the berry that provides the pinkness, and I don't really taste any metallic flavors at all. This is just like a light, refreshing, fizzy pink lemonade. I love it.
And I think before, we're only doing an in-depth of each one, but we're going to try a couple other flavors before we do our final ranking. But I'm going to give this a shot right now. Yes. No, I'm a fan. As somebody who isn't necessarily always down, like I've had White Claw, I've had these kind of seltzer things before. I would drink this on a regular basis. I would drink this. I mean, not necessarily the pina colada, but the other ones I really like. And I like the fact that like the breadth of flavors.
Oddside is the brand with the most flavors. They offer 18 different varieties of hard seltzers. So, pick your favorite flavor and they probably have it.
All right. So it's time to do the vote because I feel like this is something that we need to like continue our rankings on here. All right, let's go around. What am I seeing here? Is this just an easy voice vote? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
This would be the best one I've tried so far, so top of the bench.
All right, top of the bench it goes.
Next on the docket is Beach's Hard Seltzer, made by Shorts Brewing Company in Bel Air.
So I'm initially noticing on kind of the stats portion of it, this has 95 calories, 4% ABV, so lower ABV, a little bit lower calories, but it looks like 4 carbs as well, which is double or 4 times that of some of the other ones. So it'll be interesting to see how this tastes. This is a no for me. The flavor is called Tropical, which I'm intrigued by, and the can looks really cool. I will say they do a really good job on the can.
The can and the design, I like the fact that it's not white because every single one of these cans so far, they all are pretty boring white. And the design kind of looks like the inside of what I imagine Engineer Randy's brain looks like.
But now tasting it, this tropical flavor probably masks the ability to throw a bunch of flavors together because I'm not pulling any. I don't know, Randy, or Cheyenne, are you pulling any flavor out of this in particular? I'm just tasting kind of a little sweet and fruity, and it's not appealing.
It's kind of malty. I don't like it because it reminds me too much of beer. I'm not a fan.
So the tropical flavor says it's made with real mango, which I can kind of detect, but to me, this just tastes like, and also feels like, the texture-wise, the syrup from canned fruit.
Yes. Mixed with beer.
Yeah, this feels a lot like beer to me. Like, I feel like if it's labeled a beer, I wouldn't hate it.
So I guess one of the things we should probably say and just mention is if you're listening to this and you like the consistency of a beer and you want that in your seltzer, you want your seltzer to be more like a beer, I suppose this might be something to go for. It's a little bit heartier of a, carbonation and foam to it. So if it's something you like, then maybe Beaches is for you.
Oh, for sure. I think that's the thing is you need to listen to these things. That's why, although we're going to publish this ranking, people should listen to the whole thing because everyone's tastes are going to be a little bit different. That's why we kind of have the group consensus here to do these rankings. But if you pick out something that you're hearing in this and you go, it sounds like my boat, I'm not going to judge you.
Oh yeah, this one has hops in it.
There's your answer. There's your answer.
So ranking time, bottom?
Is it less than, but is it, you can always say something, Sven. You're part of this.
I would give it a low score. For sure.
I say it's worse than the Middle Coast.
Is it worse than the Middle
I
Coast?
think it's the bottom.
It's worse than Middle Coast.
This is our new bottom.
Bottom of the bench.
The new bottom, we've reached a new low with the Beaches. It's going to go underneath the Middle Coast. All right, quick update here, folks. Still at the top is Oddside, then Brew Water, White Claw, Hard Seltzer, from the Middle Coast, and the Beaches. We've got a couple more coming. Next up is the Lake Life. Randy, what's going on with the Lake Life, sir?
Lake Life is the only one that advertises itself as a vodka spiked seltzer.
I haven't had Lake Life. I don't know if I've had a vodka spiked seltzer. So there should be more of a vodka taste than you would think.
Randy and Sven, maybe you can enlighten me here. When it says vodka spiked, what is the difference here between that and like a regular seltzer?
So the seltzer is usually carbonated water, some sort of spirit. In this case, it's vodka, and then any flavorings and additional additives like sugar. I mean, vodka is supposed to be a neutral flavored spirit, so there shouldn't technically be much difference. This is a Lake Life vodka brand from New Holland Brewing Company. It is 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 82 calories. So this is the lowest calorie one we've had by a significant margin, and it's only 4% by volume ABV, gluten-free.
Okay, so we're back in the realm of clear seltzers here. Who's going first?
I'm getting some tastes now. So it's very light. The flavors are light. So again, this is my preference. I like little bit lighter of a flavor. I don't want something too sweet, too powerful. So this nice and light. I get the cranberry. I don't know. We'll see what other people will say, but I don't get the lime as much. I definitely do get the cranberry. The carbonation seems a little low. I don't know if because we poured it in a cup, but it's got a low carbonation, super easy drinking and light. It's got a lower ABV. So quick aside, it's important to look at the seltzer ABVs because most will be 5%, but if you think about it, 1% in either direction. So a 4% is considerably lower of an ABV to have for a seltzer. Because if you had 6, you'd have something really strong. If you think of a 6% beer, that's marketed as a stronger beer. So I'm thinking about that 5%, and anything below that, I think you're going to have a little bit lighter taste.
I mean, this is pretty good.
In my opinion, the flavor was very light, and the carbonation was very light, which seems odd because there were quite a few bubbles when I poured it.
Okay, so having a little bit of this, and I'm looking forward to trying another flavor, I feel like this lives up to the promise a White Claw could be, in that it's neutral and not sweet without tasting like flagpole. And so that's what I kind of like about it, is that it lives up to that promise without the metallic taste. All right, the grand vote, people. So odd side, better or less?
Less.
Less. Breakwater, better or less?
Less.
Less. White Claw, better?
Better.
Yeah.
Better? Yeah. All right, so it stops at White Claw, goes in the number 3 spot, people. Who's going to do the honors of putting the Lake Lives into the Wall of Order in the Fizz Fight 2020?
We are now trying Clear Coast Hard Seltzer, made by Perrin, who is based in Comstock Park.
Another traditionally beer brewer. In fact, they were acquired a few years back by, I think, Colorado-based brewery called Oscar Blues, if my memory serves.
So Clear Coast has 1 gram of sugar, 3 grams of carbohydrates total. It's 5% ABV, and it is 100 calories per can. So this flavor we're trying, the Orange Passion, is from a multi-pack that is labeled as a limited release. We're also going to try a regular release in just a moment.
It's a hard flavor to kind of grasp. The name is Orange Passion, and most seltzers will not do an orange flavor, from my experience. It won't be front and center. So give them credit for putting out an orange flavor. It's a little different. I definitely get the orange over the passion, that's for sure. I assume they're going with passion fruit. But it's medium. I think it's fairly drinkable, comparable to a White Claw in my estimation. I mean, different flavor, but carbonation-wise, you get a little metallic. I would say it's kind of a White Claw-esque type of beverage.
I'm not a fan. It has a weird aftertaste that kind of reminds me of beer.
Do you get metallic?
I do get metallic, yes.
I definitely get orange zest over orange juice.
It really is unremarkable. You know what it kind of reminds me of? When you don't put enough flavoring in the Kool-Aid. So here's the problem. I don't actively dislike it, but I don't actively like it. Like, I don't want to put it on the bottom because it doesn't make me feel anything. You know, my dad was an artist, and he used to say, if something was nice, that was the worst compliment, the worst thing you could say about his work. My dad would always say, I'd rather you hate my work than say that it's nice. And this is where I feel like with the Clear Coast. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the worst. It's not the worst we've had, but it's completely unremarkable, and it's White Claw-esque, but it's not White Claw. So it's definitely going below that for me.
So we think it's below White Claw, but does it go below Middle Coast or the Beaches?
It goes below Middle Coast in my book.
Yeah, I think I would rather have Middle Coast than Clear Coast.
I'm confused by all the coasts. I'm not going to lie.
I personally would go Clear Coast, but I understand the reasoning.
All right.
Tiebreaker.
I'm the tiebreaker.
Or tie maker, I guess.
I'm going to put it, I would put it just, I'm going to put it just underneath the White Claw, but over.
I think that is actually a tie now. Cheyenne and I were both below middle coast, and the two of you were
All right, then.
That tart cherry was garbage. You hated it.
fair.
Fair.
Did we hate this or just not like it?
I just didn't like it. I didn't hate it,
Okay.
We did not like that tart cherry.
but we just didn't hate this.
Okay, so below White Claw, above middle coast.
Correct.
Next up is Griffin Claw's hard seltzer. Griffin Claw is in Birmingham, Michigan. This can is a 16-ounce can. Everything else we've tried so far is a 12-ounce can, so these numbers are a little skewed. This is 140 calories for the 16-ounce can. It is 5 grams of carbohydrate, 2 of which are sugar. It is 5% ABV, and as the can says, it is gluten-free, homie.
So,
It says it right there, gluten-free, homie.
We are in what I would consider our local offerings stretch of this. We've got, Metro Detroit from here on out, Griffin Claw, based in Birmingham. Looking at the color of it, I don't know, it's a little bit off. It's not completely clear, but it's not necessarily like a red or cherry color either. It's got a little bit off color. I like the carbonation. I do like the flavor. It's nice. It's a good black cherry offering. Definitely better than most that I've had.
The cherry flavor is prominent. I like it. It's definitely a little bit higher on the carbonation as well. So this one might not be as an easy drinker as some of the lighter carbonation beverages we've tried.
I wonder if that has any correlation to the fact that it comes from a brewery. I don't know if that would make any difference, but it's more of a higher carbonation.
I kind of like this one, but I also kind of feel like it tastes a little like medicine. So I don't know.
No, that's a fair point. The cherry flavor is a little medicinal.
It tastes like my son's cherry medicine, and I don't know if I can get down with that.
That's hard, though, right? Cherry is always a hard flavor in general because you're always walking that line.
But we've seen it done well by some of our other players in this game.
Yes, we have.
I'm hoping the next flavor wows me a little bit more. This is why we're trying different flavors as we go, even though we've kind of sped through them for the purposes of audio, because the raspberry is the strongest out of these three. So what is our determination? This is a tough one because I don't hate it, but I don't love it. How do you feel?
We're starting to get real critical here. So this is tough because you got a lot of cans on that bench.
Randy's whole idea was we're going to go outstate and then in-state to our land of daily Detroit. And it actually makes it a little bit tougher on those local brands.
Again, though, looking at my North Star of the White Claw, I believe that it is below White Claw, and probably below Clear Coast.
But not below Middle Coast.
But not below Middle Coast.
You know what, Devon O'Reilly, man about town, I will second your nomination for that position.
This is tough because some of the flavors are good and some of the flavors are terrible. The terrible flavor, like the Georgia peach, just kind of brings the whole Griffin Claw line down, I believe. So I think I am going to go below White Coast, and I think I did like the cherry, and the raspberry is okay. The peach is terrible, though, so I think I am going to go between Clear Coast and Middle Coast.
Wow. Okay. So we got 3. Cheyenne, are you willing to fourth this, or do you want to pull it even farther down?
Honestly, I think I know I'm going to lose on this, but I'd put it past Middle Coast even.
I strongly disagree. I'm not going to try to, we're just looking at the vote here.
I know. I understand that my vote.
Is it an acceptable decision to you where if the group says this, you will be okay with it?
I'm fine with that. I understand I am in the minority here. None of them really worked for me. I'm okay with it going wherever it needs to go because of the group.
Okay. Our group decision is between Clear Coast and Middle Coast, correct?
Yes.
All right, that's where we're putting it. Oof, below White Claw. We now have, just for reference, and Fletcher Sharp, our sports and soccer correspondent, got this together here for us. But right now, I hate to say this, we have 4 Michigan brands sitting sub White Claw and 3 above it. The 3 above it are Oddside, Breakwater, and Lake Life. The 4 below it are Clear Coast, Griffin Claw, Middle Coast, and Beaches. All right, so this final one is the only Detroit-based seltzer, and some of us have actually lived just around the corner from their tap room in Grosse Pointe. They also have a place on the Detroit riverfront, Atwater. And if I do sound a little bit different, it's because I have a mask on when I'm close to folks. Randy, set us up.
So like you said, this is Atwater from Detroit. We are trying the cherry flavor to start. This is 99 calories. 99, not 100. 1 calorie less, 99 calories. 5 grams of carbohydrates, though, one of which is sugar. So I like the fruit forward flavor of the Atwater, but it's also very metallic behind it. Strong fruit flavor, but strong chemically metallic-y flavor as well.
So I would agree. The cherry, I appreciated they didn't try and go black cherry, it was just straight cherry, which you could taste the kind of difference. I would compare this, and this is again, depending on how you see this. This is the best kind of White Claw-esque type. It has a similar flavoring. It does have a little bit of metallic flavor, but it also has the light flavor, but the clean, authentic flavor that I liked from the White Claw.
At first, I didn't necessarily like the cherry. It did kind of grow on me after I drank it a little bit, but I've never really understood that whole, it's an acquired taste. Like if you have to acquire something, is that good? I don't know. But I will say that it got better as I drank it. But maybe it's also because I've tried all these different seltzers. So
I'm going to say, like, I'm not always the biggest mango guy because we've got mango and then we've got the cherry. I like it better than White Claw, that's for sure. It's also got a crushability to it, which I really enjoy. So I definitely think it belongs in the top half.
I'm going to call this as our number 3 choice. I'm just going to pick number 3, below the Breakwater, but above the Lake Life.
Concur.
Ooh, Cheyenne.
I could see it. I do actually like the mango a little bit better than the cherry.
So between the Breakwater and the Lake Life,
Yes,
which is a solid showing.
I think so. Good job, Atwater.
So I mentioned this earlier in the tasting, but it strikes me to an intense level how much these all look the damn same. Because they're all white. Some of them have different layers of color. The only one that's different is the beaches. But all the rest of them...
And they are terrible. What does that tell you? We don't
True, but, like the white thing, I feel like...
spend all your time on marketing and canning and not on making quality seltzer.
Hot takes from Devon.
Woo.
The thing is about this is that, to me, I wish there was a little bit more of a standout. I mean, I get it, though. Like, the idea is, if it's a white can, it's seltzer. I would love to see something where there's a distinctive can, a distinctive something, that it doesn't feel like it's the second tier. Right? Because some of these we've already tasted. There are some of these that are above the White Claw.
Right.
I think you could do the white can, but maybe do something other than the wave.
You could, but I get why from a marketing standpoint. Seltzers are supposed to bring to mind what I said at the beginning. It's fresh, it's clean, it's clear, it's easy drinking. You drink it on a boat, on a beach, near a lake. So with everything they're doing with the marketing of the can, they're trying to give you that vibe.
All right, before we really talk about this final ranking of flavors, which, to be clear, we have 4 local flavors above and 4 Michigan flavors below the White Claw. Devon, you had some words that you wanted to share around this, and I think they're kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, not incredibly insightful, but I think important to understand that, we only tried 2 to 3 flavors, per offering. But there may be, as was mentioned, as Randy mentioned, some of these have 18 different flavors. So maybe we didn't find the good one. So I would encourage everyone out there to be the kind of seltzer explorers and try different flavors, try what we didn't try, and maybe you're going to find an amazing flavor of one that we just didn't get to. So seltzer on.
For sure, for sure. And Randy, can I talk to you a minute before we reveal this final list for people about the Fizz Fight? Because some of these were harder to find than others.
Yeah, I had to go to a couple of different places to find these. These are made by breweries, and their websites list a beer finder, which doesn't necessarily indicate that the store that sells their beer also carries their cider.
Seltzer.
Some of these breweries might be kind of slightly embarrassed that they're making this, and it's just purely a cynical money ploy, but that's my 2 cents.
Well, thank you, Sven Gustafson, man who hates hard seltzer. Because, we had to have a Killjoy heel here, folks.
I did have a question about why are we not doing some other hard beverages. I wanted to limit this just to seltzer, so we didn't do hard lemonades, we didn't do hard ciders, and we didn't do hard teas.
Yeah, and I think for the 2020 Fizz Fight, I like what we've done. I think I'm totally open to doing the ciders, to doing the teas. And if people want to get in touch with their recommendations, you can, of course, do that at dailydetroit@gmail.com. So now that we're here, it is Fizz Fight 2020, the final recommendations, the final countdown. Fletcher Sharp has got them lined up for the ultimate picture that we're going to share after we post this podcast. But it is an impressive list. Michigan brands have done well. It is really interesting to me that you've got half the brands that our group of folks have rated higher and half lower. So we're going to go from bottom to top. At the bottom is Beaches from Shorts. Next up is the Middle Coast Hard Seltzer from Traverse City. Then we have the Griffin Claw from Birmingham. Of course, then we have the Clear Coast, and the Clear Coast is from the folks at Perrin. Then we have our baseline that everybody knows, the White Claw, which turned out to be right in the middle. Next up, the Lake Life takes the 4th spot, and that Lake Life is a New Holland offering. Number 3 is the Detroit Made Atwater. And number 2 is the Breakwater from Ordock in Marquette. So that traveled a long way, but I'm really glad that it did. And number 1 in the Fizz Fight 2020. And I think our seltzer skeptic, Sven Gustafsson, is very happy that they're at the top of the list. It is the Odd Side Ale. Sven, I feel like this is a little bit of seltzer redemption for you.
Really? I don't.
You have at least one seltzer that you know you enjoy. Isn't that enough?
Enjoy is kind of exaggerating things. I mean, tolerate is probably more close.
Thank you, Killjoy Sven Gustafsson. But in all reality, the Odd Side did a really impressive job. There are some great Michigan brands out there. You need to find what you like a lot. Folks, before we let people go, why did Odd Side take the top for you? We didn't really think about it until the end, but at the end, the Odd Side just won out.
Looking back, I think they had the best flavor. There was no metallic flavor. It wasn't overly sweet at all. The carbonation was perfect. The flavor felt natural. Pulling all those elements together is what gave it the win.
Cheyenne Noserini.
I like that they have a lot of different types of flavors. That pink lemonade was surprisingly delicious and refreshing, and I appreciate that.
Randy Walker.
Odd Side was no doubt the best. Like Devon said, the best flavor, the best carbonation level. I would like to note, though, that Odd Side was actually the hardest to find. A lot of places said they carried it, but were out. So your mileage may vary when you try to get Odd Sides, but I would like to say that if you are in the Metro Detroit area, hit up Steve's on Kniff in Hamtramck because they had several varieties.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Hamtramck is a clutch town if you want to find absolutely anything. And I mean, I completely concur with this Odd Side designation. So thank you so much for listening to Fizz Fight 2020. We're going to do this next year. Congratulations to Odd Side for being the winner of the Daily Detroit Fizz Fight. And thank you for listening. I'm Jer Stays.
I'm Randy Walker. Shout out to our 2nd and 3rd place winners as well, Breakwater and Atwater.
I'm Devon O'Reilly, and this has just been a grand time.
I'm Cheyenne Noserini.
I'm Sven Gustafsson. Take care of each other, nurse your hangovers, and we'll get through this together. Who looks super ridiculous right now in his pineapple white shirt and black mask with headphones on. And he's pointing a little handheld mic in my direction with a windy cord. It's pretty good luck, dude.